Welcome back to a new food reviews with Fatty. As always, I'm your host, Fatty, aka Jay. If you know, you know. If you don't know, now you know. So I am going to be doing a new review today of not only a restaurant, but their tacos. Chalupas. Cheesy Street Chalupas. So this is the Cheesy Street Chalupa from Taco Bell. First things first, I want to do a review of the Taco Bell itself. This is on Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park, Florida. This is the worst Taco Bell to go to, period. I would suggest to go to East Bay if you really want to get your order correctly. Basically, what's going on is I ordered the Cheesy Street Chalupas. Their representatives tell me that I cannot get pico, cilantro, but no onion, even though this is supposed to be a Cheesy Street Chalupa. So I tell them this, and specifically they tell me no. I was like, okay, cool, no problem. Then they decide, let me wipe myself down here a little bit. It's a little hot outside. It is Florida after all in July, even if it is into July. So I order this and I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can just get cilantro. They say no. So I'm like, okay, fine. No big deal. I ordered the steak chalupas. These are $9 for these two chalupas. And as you can see, they're very tiny. They're not like the regular size chalupa like you think you would get. These are very tiny chalupas. This is a very small serving for $8 or $9. So he tells me no, and I'm like, okay, fine, no big deal. I decide that I'm going to go ahead and ask them to put no cilantro and onion mix, because apparently that's what it is. And I order also, I do have another video that's going to be a second, because this is going to be a two-parter, which is the jalapeno nacho fries that they have now, jalapeno ranch nacho fries. So I order both of these at the same time. I get home, and it's loaded, and I mean loaded, with onion and cilantro. Now, I don't eat onions as a personal preference. I'm not exactly allergic, but at the same time, I don't like them. I've never liked onions, and so they load this down with onions. Now, I told the gentleman specifically that I don't like onions. I didn't want it on there. He does nothing about it. So I don't know why this is that they constantly have these problems. I really don't. But it seems like this is an over and over again situation. Every time I go to this Taco Bell, unless it's something that doesn't have onions, they put onions on it. I know this is kind of a rant, but I got to rant and get this out. Also, on top of that, I decided to order instead of from the app like I should have. I ordered from the actual storefront. And I get my receipt. And now, typically when you get your receipt, you're going to actually get the receipt that has the barcode and a number at the bottom. If you can see that there. Probably the light's going to block it out a little bit. So I do get the barcode and the numbers, right? However, their printer, they did not change the ink because they're irresponsible and don't care about any customers at all. That's how they do. They're just disrespectful. I asked them if they can reprint the receipt, which this is not their fault. They can't reprint the receipt. But the barcode doesn't work. It gives me a sad taco face. The numbers don't work. It gives me a sad taco face on 3 separate occasions on both. And they do absolutely nothing to help me. Then on top of that, I get home and I realize that there's onions and cilantro on this. And I call the manager, and the manager says, please hold. And puts me on hold for like 5 minutes, then hangs up on me. Then I call back and another person answers. And then this guy, he's trying to be a little more decent about it. But at the same time, I try to tell him his name and my name, and he's like, I tell him what's going on, that they gave me the wrong stuff. My order was wrong. That the little Asian guy that was at the store rang it up wrong. And dude goes, oh yeah, I'll take care of it. And I said, well, do you want to write down my name? I said, my name is Jay Pump. Oh, well, we'll get you. Thank you, bye. I mean, this is the worst customer service I've had in my entire life, so I just want to get that out of my system first, so that way I can do an honest review of the tacos, the street chalupas. And yes, I know it may sound bad, and everybody out there on YouTube, my subscribers and whatnot, I personally choose to do what I do with honest reviews, and no, I don't always put exactly what's on it, because I'm not going to eat what's not my preference. So if you have anything to say about this, say it. I don't mind, but your preference is your preference when you buy a food, and my preference is my preference. I prefer not having onions. So yes, I'm going to do this review, and yes, I pulled off the onions, all right? So now that we've got that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and do a review of the Cheesy Street Chalupas. I just had to get that out because I'm not going to hold in upset and harsh feelings because a company doesn't care. I'm actually probably going to contact the franchisee and let the franchisee know that this is what they're doing to the customers, and that this is chasing off their business, and then maybe things will change a little bit at that restaurant, because this is the worst. Only time I go there is when I can get something that I know doesn't have onions on it, because I'm in fear of them messing up my order like they always seem to do. Okay, without further ado, this is the Cheesy Street Chalupa. Now, these do cost quite a bit. They're $7 for 2 little tiny chicken tacos like this right here. Chicken chalupas. You can see they're little tiny they look like dipping tacos. They're the same size as the dipping tacos that they have. Yeah, so that's $7. These are not really much of a value. And this is the steak one. So these are $9. For 2 of these little tiny things, yes, I did decide to do this. I just didn't know they were going to be so tiny. I thought it would be a regular size chalupa. Because they're offering 2, I'm like, 2 for $9. That's not a bad deal, but no. Taco Bell, chintzy as always. Look at this. Look at it. It don't look bad. It looks pretty good. So what this is this is 2 little tiny chalupa shells that are half the size of a regular chalupa. On the outside is 1 chalupa, followed by some cheese, it looks like. Followed by the steak on the inside. I gotta get that onion out of there. And followed by normally a cilantro and onion mix and jalapeno ranch sauce. That's really all it is. These are 410 calories for the 2, which is not a bad deal in the calorie range, because that's not super high calories for a fast food. But it's just, like I said, it's just the disappointment of how this order didn't get made correctly. Now I have to go back and try to get them to get me 2 more because of how they did what they did with me. I really get tired of having to deal with that, but whatever. So anyhow, yeah, that's the tacos. I'm going to go ahead and just dig in. I'm going to go ahead and taste them and see if there's anything special about these street tacos. You can see there the steak and there is some cilantro in this, so I didn't get completely scanted out. They didn't completely rip me off. So let's try it. Why not? Okay, so the steak, I'm not sure if they use the same steak on these as they do for the other steak tacos and stuff like that there. But it's pretty decent. The taco shells, they're kind of hard. They don't have much of a chalupa feel. They're kind of a little rough on the outside, a little softer on the inside. And the jalapeno ranch sauce is really not too spicy, but it's not too bad either. A lot of people expect jalapeno ranch to be hot. It doesn't have a hot texture to it. However, again, if you look and see, you can see the steak. A little bit of jalapeno ranch, but they don't put a whole lot. They're really being chintzy with that as usual. There's just something, like I said, about that restaurant. I don't know what their problem is. But every time I order from this place, there's always some kind of disappointment, like I said. If you really want to get your order and everything to be like it looks like maybe in the commercial possibly, or like in a picture. I mean, I hate to say it, but East Bay seems to do it right. So that'd be at East Bay Drive in Largo, Florida. But these ones, they're just not, I mean, this is not a real good pop for $9. I mean, I could have bought a whole Publix sub for $9. And pub subs are awesome, by the way, if you ever get a chance when you're in Pinellas Park, Florida, or anywhere in Florida, basically, that has a Publix. They have what call it pub subs, is what they call them, my base, basically. Pub subs are really awesome, and they're actually about $9 or $10, which would have done a lot more for me than these little tacos here. You can call them chalupas, but this is just a little tiny taco made with a chalupa shell. I mean, honestly, between the outer and the inner shell, which you can see the both, I'm going to say that these are actually just one chalupa that they basically ripped in half and folded over twice. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call this one, because this one's going to be a short video because I'm making two. First First things first, for this, the value is completely 2 thumbs down. Horrible, horrible. For the customer service, 2 thumbs down. Horrible, horrible. For these tacos, they're all right. Visually, I can't really say anything. It's just visually, it's all right. Minus the onion and cilantro mix that I asked them specifically not to put on there. And to be perfectly honest, I mean, for taste, it's pretty bland. I'm giving at least 1 thumb down. It wasn't very impressive. So there we are with that one. Let me go ahead and pop up Mr. Predicto here, and let's see what Mr. Predicto thinks. Mr. Predicto, does this Taco Bell Cheesy Street Chalupa, do they suck? Let's find out.
It cannot be determined at this time.
Okay, Mr. Predicto, quit being unpredictable and tell me my answer.
I would not count on it.
Exactly. He would not count on it being good. That's the point. And nor is the customer service at the Park Boulevard location in Pinellas Park, Florida. So, there we go. The street tacos aren't that bad, even if Mr. Predicto thinks so. But the customer service there is horrible. Just go to the other location. Save yourself some time, all right? So I want to say thank you for everybody that's watching the video. Of course, I always do say thank you. I see there was a couple new subs. It's slowly growing the channel. Even if it's 2, even if the numbers are by 2 each video, that's still going to help me get to the number of 2,000 by September. So everybody that has liked, subscribed, and rang the bell, thank you very much. Everybody who hasn't, please do so. It does help the channel. It really does. And all it takes is 3 seconds of your time. So please go ring the bell. Also, like I said, there isn't going to be another video that's coming up soon. It's going to be the jalapeno nacho fry. I actually have this video. I'm about to shoot the video right after this video. And then it's going to be going up on the line. Probably, I'm going to say Monday. So that's going to be Monday, July 19, 20, 21, 22. The 22nd. Right now, this is Friday, so obviously Monday is going to be 3 days away. The 22nd, I just couldn't remember the date. So it is what it is. But either way, thank you very much for staying to the end of the video. If you did, and hopefully you guys can see that I'm really trying to put effort into this. Also, if you are a food sponsor or if you are a food company or another company, I do have 2 separate channels now, food reviews and everything reviews with Fatty. So if you decide that you would like to sponsor one of the channels and have me do honest reviews of your products, I would definitely be willing to negotiate. And then that way maybe we can get contracts going. Also, if you're a subscriber and you have subscribed and you'd like to collaborate with the channel, please do put a comment in wherever the comment section is, because I don't really know where it is. They keep moving it, YouTube, and they're ever changing. Let's move everything so that way the YouTuber can be off guard. So I'll just Watootsie and then I'll just point everywhere, because I don't know where the comment section is going to be next. So thanks, YouTube, for making our lives harder. So that way you can make money off of us and we don't make hardly anything. That's what YouTube does. So just to be real, since January, I've only made $23, and that's with nearly 1,700 subscribers. I'll just put it out there. And they go by a $100 threshold. So until I hit $100, I don't get to see a dime of that. But yet I'm putting my money into it. Thanks, YouTube. Thanks, Google. High five. So anyhow, that's just going to wrap up this video. I just wanted to put it out there that we do have opportunities for people to come on the show and collaborate. It is BYOF, buy your own food. And also, one more thing. If you want to see anything done and you're not a big company who's just trying to milk the channel, I'd be more than happy to do a review of a product that you may have in mind. Just put it in the comments below. And as for sponsors, you can actually email us at foodreviewswithfatty@gmail.com, and I'd be more than happy to negotiate. I do have fill-in-the-blank contracts, so, for sponsorships. So if you want to move forward, please do contact me, and I'd be more than happy to speak more about that. There's no problem. You can email me, send me your phone number, contact information. I'll be more than happy to reach back out. I do check my emails periodically. So if that's something that you're interested in and you have a food company or any other kind of company, I am willing to put things up on my Everything Reviews channel. And I'm always willing to put it up, if it's not a food thing, Even if it's not a food item, I'll put it up on my food reviews channel because everything reviews with Fatty is in the works. So that'll actually be 2 separate channels that you can actually have your videos on for your sponsorships. So give it some thought, food companies. Give it some thought, everything else companies. I'm more than happy to do honest reviews of all your products. So, with that being said, I'm going to call it a day because I've ranted long enough. And I'm going to call it a day, so it is a day. Now, as always, and if you don't know, now you know, Food reviews with Fatty, out.